Hello and welcome to another episode of The Classical Republican. I want to start a new series called The Comparative Ideology Interview. This is where I interview someone with a non-classically Republican ideology and find what we have in common and what we don't. So today I will be conducting a baseline interview to show future interviewees the format and what to expect. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the Classical Republican. Hello, thank you for having me. So I'd like to begin with the question, what is the best form of government? The best form of government is a republic, meaning the mixed regime. How do we achieve, and how long will it take to get to the end goal? The end goal is a fully functional republic with strong institutions, civil society, rotation of offices, liberty for all, an empire of laws and not of men. We can achieve it through many means, from revolution to reform. It would take a generation if the people are not accustomed to this form of government. How did you come to these beliefs personally? Through the study of Western classical political philosophy, I realized that you either agree with Plato or Aristotle, and that shapes your outlook on the world. I found that I agree more with Aristotle. Please give an overview of the history of your ideology. I suppose it originally came into practice with the mixed regime at Sparta and was written into theory by Aristotle. It was a part of early Rome for a time and lost after Caesar. It was revived in the Renaissance in northern Italy. It was paired with its offspring liberalism in the United States and France and has spread throughout the world now. What are the symbols of your ideology? I did a whole video on that. You can go and watch it. But we got the Phrygian cap of liberty. You see it today on the seal of the United States Senate, as well as the flags of Idaho, New York, and West Virginia. How much of a statist would you say you are? A good state is important because it will be necessary for protecting one's liberty. Republics inhabit strong and capable states, but they should not be overbearing on your personal life. On a scale of anarchist to totalitarian, I would be just right of the center, closer to a strong state, rather than a weak state. How do you regard private property, and what are your thoughts on eminent domain? We have a long history of respecting private property, but if the existence of the state is threatened by a foreign enemy, private property can be confiscated, through due process, of course, so it may continue to preserve the common good of the people. Which is better, negative or positive freedom? Positive freedom, because it is better not to be dominated by a master. If you have a master who chooses not to dominate, he can still change his mind, and that creates uncertainty in an already uncertain world. How do you preserve liberty? Through the mixed regime. No one person or group can be allowed to dominate. How do you view class? While inequalities should be avoided, it does occur. Therefore, classes must be encouraged to work together for the betterment of the state. In some circumstances, though, class conflict benefits the state. What is to be done about inequality? We have a long regarded great inequality as an evil, destabilizing factor. Lycurgus instituted land and property redistribution to ensure equality in Sparta. James Harrington also proposed a similar form of redistribution. However, most republics have sought to promote equality of opportunity through easy access to land or capital. What is the role of a labor union in a republic? Unions are great in principle, because they help workers from being dominated by employers. They must be democratic, though, and reflect the will of the workers they represent. If a union becomes domineering and only reflects the will of the leadership, it can be an ill to a republic. Would you say your ideology is in decline or ascendant? In practice, it has been in decline, but there are many scholars in the past few decades promoting the theory of republicanism, such as Quentin Skinner, Philip Pettit, Maurizio Veroli. How wedded are you to capitalism? Republics predate capitalism, so it is not a question as to whether there can be republics without capitalism. We are not stuck on any one particular economic system. What are your thoughts on majoritarianism when the will of the people reigns supreme? The will of the majority can lead to arbitrary domination. It must be checked. All right, that's all I have for you. Thank you for doing this interview with me. And I agree with you 100%. No disagreements there. And long live the Republic.